nearer he's to setting, that age is best, which is the first, when youth and blood are warmer. But being spent, the worst, time still succeeds the former. Then be not coy, but use your time, and while you may go marry.
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show. Well, wonder on till truth make all things plain. This man, Paramus, if you would know, this beauteous lady Thisbe is certain. This man with lime and rothcast doth presenteth wall. These lovers sunder, and through walls chink, they are content to whisper, at the which let no man wonder. This man, with lanthorn, oh yes he got with lanthorn, dog, no dog. Are you good at being a dog? Can you go woof? No, oh, it's a silent dog. Lanthorn dog and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine. For if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at -2, there to woo. This grisly beast which lion had by name, and you roar like a lion. He's done this before, you know. The trusty Thisbe, coming first at night, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion, vile with bloody mouth, did stain. I told you he knew what to do. Anon comes Paramus, sweet youth and tall. Oh, never mind. And finds his trusty Thisbe mantle slain, whereat with blade with bloody blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast. Stab yourself. And die. Oh, don't worry. And Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew, take the dagger, and died. And died. Never mind. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall. He's done a rather good job standing there all that time. And lovers twain at last discourse, while here they do remain, I think.
This is Sonnet 12. It's about thinking about time and how it goes on and all that happens through the passage of time. Exactly. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and fabled pearls, all silver or white. When lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd. And summer's green, all girded up with leaves, borne on a bier with white and bristly beard. Then of thy beauty I do question thee, that thou amongst the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow. And nothing gains time's sign save greed to brave him when he takes the hits.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease have too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag, though wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. As long as men shall breathe and eyes can see, so long live this, for this gives life to thee.
You're met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous over on? Fairest skip hence, I've forsworn his bed and his company.
Tarry, rash wanton, am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know when thou hast stolen away from fairyland, and in the shape of Corin, sat all day playing on pipes of corn, versing love to the amorous Phillida. But why art thou here? Why hast thou come from the steppes of India? But that forsooth, the bouncing Amazon, your warrior queen, your buskined mistress, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their beck joy and prosperity.
How can thou thus, for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus? Didst thou not lead him through the glimmering night from Periguna, whom he ravished, and make him with fair Aegilis break his faith with Ariadne and Antiopa?
These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since the middle summer spring met we on hill, in dale, forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beached margins of the sea to dance our ringlet to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the winds, piping to us in vain, as in revenge have sucked up from the sea contagious fog, which, falling in the land, hath every pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox, therefore, hath strained his yoke in vain. The ploughman lost his sweat, the green corn rotted ere its youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted on the Murrian flock. The 9 men's morris is filled up with mud, and quaint maces, for lack of tread, are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter cheer. No night is now with hymn or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air that rheumatic diseases do abound. And thorough this temperature, we see the seasons alter. Hoary-headed frost, far in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds on old Hiram's thin and icy crown, is, as in mockery, set. The spring, the summer, the chilling autumn, the angry winter.
by their increase, now knows not which is which. And this same progeny comes from our descent, our debate. We are their parents and religion.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her over on? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman. Will set your heart at rest. Think you my fairy power buys not the child? Oh, 'tis true, his mother was a votaress of your order, and in the spiced Indian air by night full often has she gossiped at your side, and sat with you on Neptune's yellow sand, marking the embarked traders on the flood. And you both laughed to see the sail conceive and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, and she, with pretty and with swimming gait, would follow, her womb now rich with my young squire.
But she, being mortal, of this boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up the boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
The chance till Theseus' wedding day. If you will dance, join our round and dance gently with us and see our moonlight revels, then go with us. If not, shun me, or spare your thoughts.
Give me the boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairy, skip hence. We will chide downright if I longer stay.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry, when owls do cry, when owls do cry. On a bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, after summer merrily. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry, when owls do cry, when owls do cry. On a bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, after summer merrily. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Shylock is a Jew and he's in Italy and he's treated very, very badly, and somebody needs to borrow some money from him, someone that has abused him time and time again. And Shylock lends him the money thinking that he's going to get the money back anyway, but then the money doesn't come. And Shylock had said, I tell you what, if your money doesn't come in, I'll have a pound of your flesh. And so the merchant said, yeah, that's fine. I'll do that, because he was being cocky and he thought his money would come in. Portia comes to court. Shylock is in court. He's going to take a pound of flesh. He has the right to do it. But Portia gives him this speech, the quality of mercy speech, because throughout the court case, Shylock is demanding the letter of the law. It turns it around in the end. But Esme, if you would give us this speech, please. Portia's quality of mercy speech.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His sceptre shows the force of temporal power, an attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power doth then show likest God's, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy.
Thank you. Please welcome Danny to give us the Hamlet.
Oh, that this is too solid flesh would melt. Thaw, resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Oh, heaven and earth must I remember! Why, she would hang on him, as if an increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, ere those shoes grew old with which she followed my poor father's body. Like Naomi, all tears. And she, even she, oh God, a beast that what's discourse of reason would have mourned longer. She married. Uncle. My father's brother. And yet, no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt have left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. This is not, nor can it come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
This poem is called, it's not Shakespeare, it's about Shakespeare, and it's called Anne Hathaway, and it's from the volume The World's Wife by Carol Ann Duffy. And apparently what Shakespeare wrote in his will was, item, I give unto my wife my second best bed. The bed we lived in was a spinning world of forests, castles, torchlight, cliff tops, seas where he dived for pearls. My lover's words were shooting stars which fell to earth as kisses on these lips. my body now a softer rhyme to his. Now echo, assonance, his touch of verb dancing in the middle of a noun. Some nights I dreamed he'd written me, the bed a page beneath his writer's hands. Romance and drama played by touch, by scent, by taste. The other bed, the best, our guests dozed on, dribbling their prose. My living, laughing love, I hold him in the casket of my widow's head, as he held me upon that next best bed.
Look at it this way. You've gone away, this isn't about Ellie, but I said your character has gone away to university. Your mum's a single mum, she's brought you up, she's put you first. And then you come back from university and you find rumours are going around town that your mum has been out getting drunk in town. She's been going to the White Horse and associating with some really dodgy blokes. And you are not impressed. Rumours are going around about your mother. Tell her off.
How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which like a canker in the fragrant rose doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose, that tongue that tells the story of thy days. Cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise. Naming thy name blesses an ill report. Oh, what a mansion of those vices got, which for their habitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth cover every blot, and all things turns to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this great privilege. The hardest knife, ill used, doth lose his edge.
You don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Yeah, I know it'll be delightful though, so get on with it.
This is a traditional song. It's called The Nutting Girl, and it has a chorus. Means you all have to join in. And it's one of those songs that comes from the days when the only form of birth control was "don't do it." there were many such warning songs like this, and this is one of them. I'll sing the chorus first, and then you get the hang of it. My fallalta-miralta-lal, wow for the dear old day, and once I asked that poor girl, she threw them all away. Now come all you local folk now, come listen to me song. It is a little ditty and it won't detain you long. It's of a fair young maiden and she lived down in Kent. Arose one summer's morning and she a-nutting went. My fallalta-miralta-lay, one from a do all day. And what pull nuts that poor girl had, she threw them all away. Well, it's of this brisk young farmer, was a ploughing of his land. He called unto his horses to bid them gently stand. As he sat down upon his plough for a song to sing, his voice was so melodious it made the valleys ring. Whack for the do-to-me-do-to-do, whack for me do all day. And what bull nuts that poor girl had, she threw them all away. Well, it's of this fair young maiden, a-nutting in the wood. His voice was so melodious, it charmed her as she stood. It charmed her as she stood, poor girl, she could no longer stay. And what few nuts she had, poor girl, she threw them all away.
What for to the old day, what for the dear old day. What few nuts that poor girl had, she threw them all away.
Well, she went up to young Johnny as he sat on his plough. Said she, young man, I think, I feel, I cannot tell you how. So he took her to some shady brew, and there he laid her down. Said she, young man, I think, I feel the world go round and round.
What for the old day, what for the dear old day. What poor nuts that poor girl had, she threw them all away.
So come all you local maidens, this warning by me take. If you should a-nutting go, then don't stay out too late. For if you should stay too late for to hear that cowboy sing, you might have a young farmer to nurse up in the spring.
Whack for the old day, whack for the dear old day. What few nuts that poor girl had, she threw them all away.
Yes,
Whack out of it out, whack for the dear old day. What few nuts that poor girl had, we threw them all away. Whoa!
Once more unto the bridge, dear friends. Once more. Or close this wall up with our English dead. In peace, nothing more humbles man than humble peace and humility. But when the blast of war blows in your ears, imitate the actions of a tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon the blood, disguise their action for fard-favoured rage. Lend the eye a terrible aspect. Let it pry from the portage of their head. Like a brass cannon, let the brow overwhelm it. As fearfully as the gall rock o'erhangs and jutters his confounded base, swirled by the wild and wasteful ocean. Set your teeth and stretch your nostril wide. Hold hard your breath. Bend up your spirit to the highest. On, you noble English! Whose blood was fed from fathers' war-proof. Fathers that love. So many Alexanders have in these parts from morn to even fall, and sheathe their swords through lack of argument. Dishonour not your mothers, I attest. For those you call fathers did beget you. Copy now to men of grosser blood and teach them more. And you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the metal of your pasture. Let us swear that you are noble of your breeding. I doubt not, for there's none among you so mean or base that does not have noble lustre in your eyes. I see you like greyhounds, standing at the slip, straining at the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon your discharge cry, "Guard for Harry!
Harry!
England!
England!
And St. George!
St. George!
Andy wasn't allowed to do on Wednesday night, do the Henry V speech from here, just in case he got run down. It was all right on Sunday because the road was closed. However,
Blame me for that as well.
At one point, Kaz said, "Oh, well, we won't worry, we'll go straight to the St Mary and St Giles Court." I said, "No, you cannot ignore the Rose and Crown. This wonderful house." Bit of a state. It's going the wrong way as well. Anyway, we cannot ignore this house because this is the mention of Stony Stratford in Richard III, Shakespeare's great play about the last Plantagenet King of England. Most of you will know it, of course. It's a line in Act 2, Scene 4, when the Archbishop of York begins, "Last night I heard they lay at Stony Stratford, and at Northampton they do rest tonight." Now that's on the way to London, which is a bit of a problem. Unless they were going by London Midland, I suppose. But the point about it is that this is our mention in Shakespeare, and it justifies our claim that William Shakespeare was not born in Stratford-on-Avon, but actually in Stratford-on-Avon.
Hey!
Lead on, musician.
I should have told you it has a chorus. But it is compulsory to join in. 'Twas on the 21st of May, I was passing by that way, when I spied a pretty maid spinning yarn. So I tarried for a while, and I gave a little smile. May I wind up your little ball of yarn? Ball of yarn.
All of young, full of young.
Please be wary of the beauties of the park, when the blackbird and the thrush are a-warbling in the bush. Keep your hand on your little ball of yarn. The rooster, she said to me, you're a stranger I can see, but I'm feeling oh so woozy from your charm. Oh, and then to my surprise, I just slipped between her thighs. And I wound up ball of
fun, ball of fun.
Please be wary of the beauties of the palm, when the blackbird and the thrush are a-warbling in the bush. Keep your hand on your little ball of fun. Well, 'twas 12 months to that day, I was passing once again, when I spied her with the baby on her arm. So I said unto her, miss, oh, I didn't think of this, when I wound up your little ball of yarn.
Ball of fun, ball of yarn.
Be wary of the beauties of the palm, when the blackbird and the thrush are a-warbling in the bush. Keep your hand on your little ball of yarn. So take care, you pretty maids, when you go beneath the shade. Be wary of the beauties of the palm, when the blackbird and the thrush are a-warbling in the bush. Keep your hand on your little ball of yarn.
Ball of yarn, ball of yarn.
The blackbird and the thrush are a-warbling in the bush. Keep your hand on your little ball of yarn.
One of the joys of doing this is that not everybody can make every performance. Some people have only been able to make one, but they're still in the programme. So what we do is we jig things around, people step in, and just like now, Eric is going to give us a piece. Do explain it as well, Eric, please.
Yeah, this is the wonderful speech by Jacques in As You Like It, possibly one of Shakespeare's greatest speeches, so I'll try and do it justice. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in his nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in its sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Apparently cuckoos were very common in Shakespeare's time, lots of them. On every tree apparently, so this song says anyway. And also the word cuckold comes from cuckoo. And this song is taking them, well, putting the feel of God into married men basically, because we know that the female would fly around and lay her eggs in other birds' nests, and then that another bird would eat her baby and bring it up. And so this is the kind of mockery of that. When days is pied and violets blue, and ladies' smocks are silver white, and cuckoo blood I yellow hue, to paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, a word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. Cuckoo, cuckoo, on every tree, unpleasing to a married ear. When shepherds pipe on autumn straws, and merry larks are ploughmen's clocks, when turtles tread and rooks and daws, and maidens bleach their summer smocks, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, a word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. Cuckoo, cuckoo, a word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear.
Sonnet 73. What time of year that thou mayest in me behold, when the yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs that shake against the cold. There, growing choirs where late the sweet birds sang, in me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away. Death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well that thou must leave ere long.
I call this his moody teenager scene, but he's got another reason for doing it.
So, has anybody watched the film With Nor and I?
No.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Sorry, Anne.
Yeah, you might be a bit young for it.
Yeah, well, never that. So, there's a tenuous link with this piece from Hamlet. There's just the other side of the library from Cox and Robertson. It was converted into a tea shop for a scene or two, and wonderful it is too. This scene, the Hamlet speech I'm going to do now, didn't get filmed in Stony Stratford. Obviously, Regent's Park was cheaper to buy that day. But it's a great film, and it's also a great play. And yesterday, we discovered it was also a song from a hit musical, Hair. And I know you were all around there when No, but, right.
I saw it.
And I've got to just get into moody teenager mode. No, I'm not. I have of late, wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This magnificent canopy, the air, look you, this brave hanging firmament, this majestical roof wretched with golden fire. Why? It appears no more to me than a foul, pestilential congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. This beautiful world, this paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor women neither.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in him, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet, in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think of thee. And then my state, like the lark at break of day arising from sullen air, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
Beautifully done, thank you.
Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending fickle compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved.
Thank you, Edna. Rob came to me with this thing and he said, do you think we could do this? And he's absolutely right. It's such a powerful speech, and it was written by Shakespeare, but I will let Rob introduce it and contextualise it to you.
Okay, thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
This is from one of Shakespeare's lesser-known plays. It's called Thomas More. Many of you will know the story of Thomas More. He lost his head because he disagreed with Henry VIII. Shakespeare was brought in to improve a play by a guy called George Munday. They thought this is a bit rubbish actually, so let's get Shakespeare in because he'll make it better. And there's a really interesting exhibition at the British Library at the moment called Shakespeare in 10 Acts. If you go there, you will see the text of this speech, probably written in Shakespeare's own hand, which is really interesting. Now the context of this is Thomas More at this point is the Lord Mayor of London, and London is full of rioting mobsters. This is the best we could find. But you can imagine he's actually a mob. And you may be a mob as well. I had a second mobster on Wednesday in Henry V and Hamlet. But he's refused tonight, so never mind. The context of this is that Thomas More has gone out to try and quell the mob. I think it's also a speech which has a certain contemporary relevance, and I'll leave you to cast and draw your own conclusions. Alas, poor things, what is it that you get, although we grant you get a thing you seek? Marry the removing of the strangers, which cannot but advantage the poor handicap of the city. Yeah. Grant them the root, and grant that this your noise hath quite chid down the majesty of England. Imagine that you see the strangers, their babies at their backs, their poor luggage, plodding to the ports and coasts for transportation, and that you sit as kings completing your desires. Quite in rough of your opinion clothed. What had you got? I'll tell you. You had taught how insolence and strong hand should prevail, how order must be quelled. And by that pattern, not one of you shall live an aged man. For other ruffians, as their fancies wrought, with self-same hand, self-reason and self-right, would shark on you. And then, like ravenous fishes, would feast on one another. Say that the king, as he is clement, the offender born, should so much come too short of your great trespass as but to banish you. Whither would you go? What country by the trespass of your error will you harbour? Go you to France, or Flanders, to any German province, to Spain or Portugal, nay, anywhere that adheres not to England, why you must needs be strangers. Would you be pleased to find a nation of such barbarous temper that greeting you with hideous violence would not afford you a safe harbour on earth? Whet their detested knives against your throats, spurn you like dogs, like as if the God owned not, nor made not you, nor that the elements were not appropriate to your comforts, but chartered unto them. What would you think to be thus used? For this is the stranger's case, and this your mountainish inhumanity.
Okay, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, not all the performers are part of Stony Stratford Theatre Society. We got asked if we'd allow this company. It's the Farndale Avenue Housing Estate Townswomen Dramatic Guild, and they're doing a production of Macbeth, and they thought they'd like to be part of it, so I said they could. The trouble is, the lady that's playing Lady Macbeth, they're going to do the hand washing scene, but I'm afraid the lady who's playing Lady Macbeth got on the wrong bus, and she can't make it, so they've got a stand-in to play Lady Macbeth. He's a bit nervous, but please bear with us. They've asked me to prompt in case they need it.
I can see.
I have 2 nights watched with you, and I can perceive no truth in your report.
she last walked?
Since the king went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed. Yet all this while in a most fast speed. Lo, here she comes. Here she comes. Here her eyes are open, aye, but their senses shut. Look how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. Observe her. Stand close. What is it she does now? It is an accustomed action with her.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. Observe her. Stand close. Her eyes are open. Aye, but their senses shut. Look how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. Observe her. Stand close. Her eyes are open. Aye, but their senses shut. Look how she rubs her hands.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. Observe her. Stand close. Her eyes are open. Aye, but their senses shut. Look how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. Observe her. Stand close. How damn spots.
Out, dumb spot, I say.
Look how she rubs her hands. It isn't. It isn't.
1, 2, why then it is time to do.
1, 2. Well, then it is time to do it, my lord. For a soldier and a fiat.
He's missed a bit out.
Yet who would have thought? I'll tell him.
Yet who would have thought? I'll tell him. And look, the whole man up in him.
Do you mark that?
Do you mark that?
That's my line. It's you.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
The Thane of Fife had a wife.
Oh, the Thane of Wife had a wife.
The other way round.
The Thane of Wife had a wife.
Where is she now?
Oh, what?
You say what?
What? When will these fair hands be clean?
Go to, go to.
Go to! Go to! Yet here's a spot.
Look, she speaks. No, this is reason. No. Go to, go to. You have heard what you should not. She hath sworn what she should not. You can say that again.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this little hand. Oh! 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 Now is the winter our discontent. The glory is still above the son of York, and all the clouds have laid upon the house in a deep motion, buried. To bed! To bed! I hear a knocking at the gate! To bed! To bed! To bed! That is the question! But I don't know!
Foul whisperings are abroad. Good night. Good night. Good doctor.
ladies and gentlemen. Well done, guys, because Cameron he came up to me and went, they're really going wrong, aren't they? Well done, well observed.
This is first reading, so Sonnet 21. So is it not with me as with that muse, stirred by a painted beauty to his verse, who heaven itself for ornament doth use, and every fair with his fair doth rehearse, making a couplement of proud compare with sun and moon, with earth and sea's rich gems, with April's firstborn flowers, and all things rare, that heaven's air in this huge rondure helms. Oh, let me chew in love, but truly right, and then believe me, my love is as fair as any mother's child, though not so bright as those gold candles fixed in heaven's air. Let them say more, that like of hearsay well, I will not praise that purpose not to sell.
Thank you. Right, we are going to start with Sue White, who's going. She'll introduce it, but she's going to give us the Queen Margaret speech from Richard III.
This little speech is just Queen Margaret. She's lost her husband, she's lost her son, she's lost most of her kinsmen because of Richard and his family. And she decides to confront him in the court, along with his sister-in-law, Queen Elizabeth. She's been hiding in the wings, listening to all their celebrations, and she decides she can't be quiet any longer. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. The word of conscience still before thy soul. No sleep goes up that deadly eye of mine, unless it be while some tormenting devil affrights thee with a howl of ugly devils. Thou, elvish, marked, abortive, rooting hog!
You call worse.
Thou dost seal these the slave of nature and a son of hell. Slander thy mother's heavy womb, thou loathest issue of thy father's loins, thou detested. Leave out thee, oh, painted queen, vain flourish of my fortune. Why strew'st thou sugar on this bottled spider, whose deadly web ensnareth thee about? Oh, fool! The day will come when thou shalt wish for me to help thee curse this poisoned, bunched-back toad. Foul shame upon you! All moved mine.
He's a dog, basically, and he fancies two women. And what he's done is he's written the same love letter to the two women. Now, women being women are talking to each other. And one of them goes, hey, look at this letter. And they're like, hang on a minute. The name is changed, but the letter's the same. So the ladies decide they're going to punish him. And this is a scene between Mistress Ford and Falstaff. We don't see him get his comeuppance in this, but let's just see what happens.
We'll use this unwholesome humidity, this gross, watery pumpion. We'll teach him to know turtles from jays.
Oh, have I caught thee, my heavenly jewel? Oh, this is the period of my ambition. Oh, this blessed hour.
Oh, sweet Sir John.
Mistress Ford, I cannot cog, I cannot prate, Mistress Ford. I must now sin in my wish. I would thy husband were dead. I shall speak it to the best lord. I would make thee my lady.
Aye, your lady, Sir John. Alas, I should make a pitiful lady.
Oh, let the court of France show me such another. I see how thine eye would emulate the diamond, and thou hast the right arched beauty of the brow that becomes the ship Tyre, the Tyre Valiant, or any Tyre of Venetian admittance.
Oh, my brows become nothing else, nor that well neither.
No, by the Lord, thou art a traitor to say so. Thou wouldst make an absolute courtier. The firm fixture of thy foot would give an excellent motion to thy gait in a semicircled farthingale. I know what thou wert, if fortune thy foe were not, nature thy friend. Come, thou canst not hide it.
Oh, believe me, sir, there is no such thing in me.
But then what made me love thee? Let that persuade thee that there is something extraordinary in thee. I cannot cog, I cannot say thou art this or that, like a many of these hawthorn-budded women who dress in men's apparel and who smell like butler's bread in simple time. I cannot, but I love thee, and none but thee, and thou canst deny it.
Do not betray me, Sir John, for I fear you love Mistress Page.
Oh, no, thou canst not say that. That is like, let's see, saying I walk down by the counter gate, which is as hateful to me as the shriek of the lime kilns.
Well, heaven knows how I love thee, and you shall one day find it.
You keep in that mind. I shall deserve it.
Oh, well, I shall keep in that mind, and... Oh, Mistress Page is knocking at the gate. She writes most pleasantly to see you, sir.
Well, she shall not see me. I shall ensconce me behind the arras.
Yes, pray that you do. She's a most tattling woman.
Thank you. Good luck, both of you, against the noise. Don't make me have a word with it now. Get on with it.
Farewell, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, you shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love. What's that other flower there? Welcome, wanderer.
Aye, there it is.
I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine. There sometimes sleep Titania of a night, lulled in soft flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws off her enamelled skin, wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with this juice, I'll prick her eyes and make her full. Take down some of this flower, sink through the grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on. Effect it with some care, that he may dote more fondly on her than she upon her love. And look now, meet me here ere the next cock crow.
Aye, my lord, fear not. Your servant shall do so.
So please give Phil a nice round of applause.
Let those who are in favour with their stars of public honour and proud titles boast, whilst I, whom fortune of such triumph bars, and look for joy in that I honour most. Great princes, favourites, their fair leaves spread, but as the marigold at the sun's eye, and in themselves their pride lies buried, for at a frown they in their glory die. The painful warrior, famous for fight, after 1,000 victories once foiled, is from the book of honour razoured quite, and all the rest forgot for which he toiled. Then happy I that love and am beloved, where I may not remove or be removed.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, oh, time is still a-flying, and this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. Glorious lamp of heaven, the sun, the higher he's a-getting, the sooner will his race be won, the nearer he's to setting. That age is best, which is the first, when youth and blood are warmer, but being spent, the worst, time still succeeds the former. Then be not coy, but use your time, and while ye may go marry, for having lost at once your prime, you may forever tarry. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, oh, time is still a-flying, and this same flower that blooms today, tomorrow will be dying.
It's Sonnet 99. So forgive me if I get the meaning slightly wrong, but here goes. The forward violet thus did I chide, sweet thief, whence did thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride, which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair, a third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both, and to his robbery had annexed thy breath. But for his theft, in pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweet or colour it had stolen from thee.
To find from Romeo where and when they are to be married. Now she's only 13, so she's a little bit excited about it, and her parents don't want her to marry Romeo because the families are enemies. They want her to marry Paris. That's not going to happen. So she sent her nurse off. She's waiting for the nurse to come back, and the nurse may or may not have good news, but she's going to wind Juliet up before she gives her the answer.
Prompt. Oh, yeah. Well, the clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Oh, perchance she cannot meet him. Oh, that's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster than the sun's beams glide over luring hills, driving back shadows. And therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath wind swift Cupid wings. And now the sun is upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 until 12 is 3 long hours. She's not done. And she affections, and warm, youthful blood. She'd be swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love and his to me. But old folks, many feign as if they were dead, unwieldy, slow, and heavy as lead. Oh God, here she comes! oh nurse, oh what news? Hast thou met with him?
Oh, I am a-weary. Give me fire. Oh, fie, how my bones ache. Oh, they ache so.
Oh, I wish you had my bone tonight, thy news. Oh, but speak, good nurse, speak.
Yes, with what haste? Can you not stay a while? Oh, can you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath? When thou hast breath with which to tell me that thou art out of breath. The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Say either and I'll stay the circumstance, but let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to treat a man, or to choose one even. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face is better than any man's, and his leg excels all men's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body, they are not bespoken. Yet thou must compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant as gentle as a lamb. Go thy way, serve God. What? Have you dined at home?
No. All this I did know before. What says he of our marriage?
Oh, Lord, my head. Oh, how my head aches. Oh, it beats as if it would fall into 20 pieces. And my back, no, t'other side. My back beshrew your heart for sending me about, traipsing up and down to catch my death. Oh, all this traipsing up and down.
Oh, Faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. But, please, nurse, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, a kind, and a courteous, and a handsome. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she's within, where should she be? Oh, how oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Why so hot? Come up, trap. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Oh, here's such a coil. What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Stratford today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell, for there stays a husband who will make you his wife. See how the wanton colour comes up into your cheeks, they be scarlet at any news. Hie you to church. I must go another way. Ladder. Yes, I remember what I've got to do. I have to go and fetch a ladder, so that your love can climb a bird's nest tonight when it is dark. I am a drudge, and I toil in your delight. But yours is the burden later tonight. I'm off to dinner. Hie you to the church.
Oh, hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
Thank you. Well, that's it for today. Thank you to all of our our audience that have followed us right from the very beginning. Thank you to those people who've joined in as they went along. And thank you for the people sitting here in the courtyard of the Cock, having their supper, having a drink when we invade your space. Thank you for your patience. We'll be doing the same sort of thing Wednesday night, Friday night, and then Saturday morning in the library. It's all on the board, it's all on the website. Thank you all very, very much for coming. Thank you.
When the play has come to the end, will the players still be friends? When we passed on curtain call, we take it all, take it all. With a fading clientele, we took the water from the well. We shared our words just like scales. We told the tales, told the tales. Take a bow, drown yourself in the encore. For when the makeup's cleansed, the play ends. We take on the next scene from the one that's just been. No matter what part we play, we love, we fight, we say that we are a merry band. Take each other by the hand, and we turn to the paying crowd and shout it loud, shout it loud. Why do I feel that the next words won't come? Why do I fear that the next play won't run? Take a bow, drown yourself in the encore. But when the makeup's cleansed, the play ends. Take a bow, drown yourself in the encore. For when the makeup's cleansed, the play ends. For when the makeup's cleansed, the play